Let me move on to our main event. This match was amazing. Better than their match last year at Full Gear, at least in my opinion. It was Adam Hangman Page challenging Kenny Omega for the AEW World Championship in a 25-minute match. Now, everybody says that this match is 3 years in the making, that this goes all the way back to that first AEW press conference. No, it doesn't. Everyone says, well, Hangman said he'd be the champion. A lot of people in the last 3 years have said they wanted to be the champion. Hangman said that his goal was to be the first AEW World Champion. Well, brother, you failed in that and lost to Jericho. So now you are the fourth ever AEW World Champion. So to call this a 3-year story in the making, no, it's not. Maybe it's a year and a half once they realize that Kenny's going to get the title here and then Kenny's going to hold that till he loses it to Hangman. Maybe that's how long this has been a thing. But no. To call this a almost 3-year storyline and say that Tony Khan had this story in mind at the beginning. He even said it on the interview with frickin' Dave Meltzer that he knew eventually Hangman would be a world champion in this company. But not from day one did he know that. He knew that they were going to push Hangman really big. But not from day one did he know that he wanted to culminate this year. No. Remember, Hangman said, my goal, I vow to be the first ever AEW World Champion. And he lost that to Chris Jericho. So, saying that he's now the fourth World Champion means that the story... No! This is not a 3-year-long build. Year and a half at most. With the whole, him and Kenny were a tag team. They won the tag titles. They had dissension. They fought last year at the pay-per-view. Excuse me. So no, this is not a 3-year storyline finally culminating. Page and Omega exchanged hard chops early. Omega got an advantage after Callis tripped Omega up. No, Page up. Why did I write that weird? While Omega distracted the referee, Callis choked Page against the middle rope. Page came back with a springboard lariat on the apron. Then a plancha onto Omega on the ropes. Out on the floor, Omega rammed Page back into the ring barricade and into the ring apron. Page came back with a suplex on the floor. Back in the ring, Page came off the top with the crossbody for a 1. Yes, a 1. Omega caught Page with a thumb to the eye and pie-faced the Hangman for another 1 count. Omega dumped Page where Callis attacked him. Omega teased going for the buckshot lariat. Page came back, but Omega caught him with a Rana that sent Page to the floor. Omega followed this up with a Terminator dive. Back in the ring, Omega went for the You Can't Escape, and Page didn't escape. Oh, for long. He then did hit boots to Omega's chest. Omega raged in, and Page rammed him with more boots. Page hit more chops and sent Omega to the floor with a fall-away slam. Page followed this up with a suicide dive, then came off the top with a top rope moonsault to the floor. This got a huge pop from the crowd as they were chanting, "Cowboy shit! Cowboy shit! Cowboy shit! Cowboy shit!" Back in the ring, Page hit a brainbuster for a near fall. Page took Omega to the top for a superplex, but Omega fought out of it. Then, Page came back with a springboard off the top to a power bomb. This, a cool move. Omega then hit a pair of Snapdragon suplexes. Omega delivered a third Snapdragon suplex onto the ring apron. Back in the ring, Omega hit a V-trigger. Omega set up for the one-winged angel, but Page countered with the victory roll for a near fall. Page countered Omega with a German suplex, but then Omega came back with a Tiger Driver for a near fall. Omega at one point rolled to the floor, and Page came off the top of the ring post. So he literally takes the camera off the top of the post, steps on it, uses it to launch himself, and kind of sends Omega through a table. More like Omega hits the table, he hits the table, and the table kind of props up. Page then tosses Omega back into the ring. Page went for the buckshot, but Omega dropped out of the way. Page went for a V-trigger, and Omega ducked it. Page came back, the pop-up powerbomb, and went for a buckshot lariat, but Omega pulled the referee in the way. With the referee out, because what's an AEW main event without a ref bump? Callis tried to attack Page with the belt, but Page caught him. Omega tried to hit Page with the belt. Page ducked, and he hit the dead eye. Aubrey Edwards then bolted down to the ring. 1, 2, 2.999. Page teased using the belt, but then he dropped it. He knew better. Page and Omega began exchanging punches and forearms. Omega got the advantage and went for the V-trigger, but Page blocked the move. Omega hit the V-trigger on a second try, and Page came back with a rolling forearm. With both men now down after Omega hit a huge lariat, the Bucks slowly made their way out to the ring. Omega hit a backdrop driver on Page, and Page came back with his own backdrop driver. Page went for the buckshot, but Omega caught him with the V-trigger. Great spot. Omega went for the one-winged angel, but Page countered with a one-winged angel of his own and got a 2 off of it. Page then hit the buckshot from behind on Omega. Page then went on the other side of the ring where Matt was standing. Matt then looks up at Hangman and just gives him the nod. Page hits the buckshot and pins Kenny Omega to become the new AEW World Champion. Now, where this makes sense. So, in the first ever AEW World Title match, it was Hangman versus Jericho, where Hangman said, Matt, Nick, I need you in my corner. I want you out there with me. And they said, we got our own match to worry about. We got to take on the Lucha Bros. It's a ladder match. We can't. We just can't be out there with you. But now, not only did they come out there after Hangman told them not to this time, they were out there in support of Adam Page. Again, Matt gives them the do it. And there you go. I don't know if this is a babyface turn by the Young Bucks, if they're no longer with Kenny Omega. That I don't get, because then that would screw up everything I wanted to see with Adam Cole. But we'll see where it does lead to. In the end, the Dark Order came out celebrating, cheering for the new champion when Hangman goes, get your asses down here. They run down to the ring. Big old group hug. They then throw Hangman up on their shoulders. The show goes off the air before Hangman can get a beer. Like, this would have been perfect with Hangman drinking as the show goes off the air, but no, he's on the shoulders of the Dark Order. Also, forgot to mention, very cool intro for Hangman Page that they filmed on Thursday night. Made it seem like Hangman was outside the building, comes in on the horse, and then boom, there he is. They actually filmed that Thursday night.